Continuing with the assembly of the Imperial Star Destroyer by Revell. Now we're going to be building the other smaller parts here from behind the ship, these thruster parts. And again, at least in the instructions, it tells you to take these little blue parts here and stick it up in the front. And there's little two notches there that will snap into place like so. We have to do this 4 times. I have to seriously consider how I'm going to, well, I'm going to probably mask these, mask the blue parts for both the smaller and bigger engines so I can paint them. That shouldn't be too hard. There we go. So, put one through there, one through there, one through there, get that out of the way. One through there. I don't think it looks good, even though these are okay, but these ones could have been better. Maybe we really do not need to have all the engines lit up, but, you know, that's what they wanted. Alright, so now we're going to begin the remaining part of the ship, the top part of the hull. So we'll need this part. I believe this part goes here. Like that. The other part goes through here. I'm not faulting Revell for making these parts very difficult for me to put them on, because in a way that's a good thing, because that way it strengthens the kit for, you know, for children. So again, they're really thinking it through pretty well. We have these two parts here. Good solid parts though. Good detail though. This is actually pretty nice. This is really nice how they did the detail on this. Not crazy with this, but you know, it's all a matter of perspective. Next one. Then we need this part that goes right here. Wait a minute, I think we have to put this one first. That goes there. See, like, again, this thing is like a little off a bit, but it's at least you may have to bend it a bit just so you can, for the parts to fall into place. There we go. Well, that's actually really good. I'm trying to remember, with the original MPC kit, was it like you had the side armor plastic parts that you had to glue on, then you had the one part that goes over, then another side parts, and you had to glue on, and over and over? I don't remember. I have a distinct feeling that's what it was back then, but I can't remember. Somebody's going to message me and let me know this. Alright, so now we're going to begin building the tower. And we have the escalator type part here. Slide it in and push it into place like so. Don't be afraid to apply pressure. Now, we get into more detailed parts here. The assembly of the shield generator. Oops. it's not as detailed. I have a feeling that if we see a Bandai version, which we will, this section here is going to be very thin, because it is a thin skeletal structure that will be right here. And then of course you'll have the ball, which of course you will put together and probably glue it so that way it's the seam lines don't show, and then put it right on top of it. But for this kid, that's understandable, again, to take the punishment. So we got these two done. You'll need this, and it goes in specific angles, so find the correct angle for this. It's not right now. Here we go. And then before you put this together, oh, interesting. So you put this one here first, but you put this one here on the next part because there's a little notch there. So you put that there. Then we have the bridge. Find the look to it. Let me see here. Okay, so that goes here. Then we put these two together, like so. Just make sure this ain't all the way. Okay, it's good. And then we just slide it in here. Nice, okay. And actually I didn't notice this, but this is a different tone of color, and this is a tone of color to the remaining part of the ship. Then you have the heavy turbo laser. I call them heavy because, yeah, turbo lasers. Then you just stick them in like so. Oh, and they move. So let's put that there. Put that there. Put that there. Turn it about a bit so that way they're in a nice forward firing position. You know, even though this is a spaceship, putting guns on top of the ship is it's a laughable thing. You would think they would have the same guns like these under the ship. But, you know, who am I to say? Okay, that's it. Let's close this and see how it looks. Well, alright, so let's hold it like that. Alright. Got to admit, the dimensions, the scale, the size of it, and the weight is pretty damn awesome. And we're going to take out our little guy right here as a comparison size. It's actually pretty good though. You know what, let's do the good old Lord of the Rings technique. Forced perspective. So if I go all the way here and there, what do you guys think? It's just about right, you could say. Hey, I wish I could touch the camera right now to focus on this guy, but I can't because I don't have a stand and I don't have an extra hand here or arm to hold it up. But I have to admit, this is really nice. Obviously, the one thing that's going to annoy everybody is this, which we're going to take a nail, pull this out, pull this one out, pull that one out, and now we have now you have a desk piece. There you go. Look at that. Again, this could be forced perspective, because then you can have a scene where the Star Destroyer is right in front of you, but then you have a small one in the distance right there. You know? Pretty cool if you guys want to do some photoshopping. Get a blue screen, do something like that. Get rid of the stupid wings off the sides, and then just put like something like a planet in the background, or maybe it going past the Death Star. I have to admit, I'm not regretting purchasing this. I really am not. I am questioning it, of course, based on its overall design, but there's a necessity for that for specific reasons. For a hobbyist like us, we wouldn't caught dead with a kit like this. This is basically a toy. Let us remove the battery container, and let's hit the button and see how it sounds. We'll go here. We'll hit the button, and huh. That's actually pretty good sound effects. Let's play that. Oh, maybe there's a secondary. Let's find out. Okay, that's like the heavy cannons. That's good. Let's see if it repeats again or a different one. Okay, I like it. I like it. But what I don't like are these blue little lights. These are not lighting up for whatever reasons. I was gonna mask them off, but you know what? They're gonna be left on. I'm gonna paint them over. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a putty here to cover the whole blue part here, here, and here, and here. And I'm gonna mask the whole. Oh yeah, just basically that. Don't have to bother masking anything else. And I'm going to paint this fucker. No, actually, you know what? With so much detail, I'm gonna see if I could do some weathering. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do some weathering. Well, how much weathering can you get on a ship in space? Does ships collect dust that easy? I'm still painting it anyway. Let me see how it feels out. Let me pull out these guys so you guys can see it again and laugh at its stupidity. But, oh, so yeah, the detail's really good here and here. It's pretty nice. So, that's the assembly of, we've completed the assembly of the Revell's Imperial Star Destroyer from Rogue One. Let's prepare it for painting. So, before I begin priming, I've been looking at this kit for quite some time, and I said to myself, this doesn't look right. I really do not like these little clips here, these fold-out support stands. Again, I understand Revell's point of view of this, and I'm not digging it. I'm not liking it. So what should I do? Part of me said, you know what? Why not make your own custom stand for this guy? It shouldn't be that difficult for me to do something like that. Taking cue on this kit and seeing how well it's designed and how it's put onto this little ball joint here, and it's nice and positional and whatnot, I think the best place to put a stand will be put right here, because everything, as a matter of fact, let's do a balance check here. If I held this up like that, it'll go backwards a bit. So I have to find some place where this kit meets halfway, and I believe right there, just back of this ball. I should have foresaw this and maybe find a way to balance it out properly. Putting it there, no, put it back there. So it's like right there in the middle. It's like right there. I don't know if I could do this with one hand. Let me see. So if I do, no. Come on. Oh yeah, it's right there. But I'm not thinking of putting a ball joint in there. I'm thinking of putting something with like a hole where I can just stick a stand there or something to hold it up in at a specific height or length. You know, specific height, I mean. So what do I have for a stand? Well, I have a lot of leftover stands from Gundam kits. I could use one of those guys. And sure enough, I have this little guy right here. That I think was, I forgot what version, what Gundam kit I used. This is not from the Thunderbolts one. This is another one. And I assemble it in. I've had it for a long time, and I don't know. I think this would be fine. It has a good base. The only thing is, of course, I don't think it's a good idea to me put it like all the way up here like that, because this thing's going to be wobbling left and right. So what I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down. Maybe a good like 3 inches, like up to here. Cut this open. I mean, like slice it down like that, so it's at this angle. And then make it a, I don't know. Cut this. Put a flat plot plate there. Or actually, you know what? After I cut this, I can cut these parts off. Use the structure, this plastic, and then glue it right there. And then find a way to create my own custom peg to stick it into this after I drill a hole in it, so it can hold on to this. Because then that way it's easy for me to paint this kit, not me holding it up all the time with my hands. Let me work on that right now, and we'll feel it out. Right there would probably be a good idea. Don't know how this will work, but let's see. Don't have a saw, so I'll have to use this for now. That should be good. Okay, so I was trying to show you guys the glue that I used, regular super glue, but it spilled all over my fingers, and I had to put a lot of acetane on it to hopefully it dries out and I can peel it off later on. Don't worry, I'm fine. But I just wanted to show you this before we move on any further. Oh, there's some glue there. Melting the plastic, melting that. But even though now we have a flat piece and it's in a perfect angle right now, I'm going to wait until it dries. I need to figure out how I'm going to stick that part inside of the Star Destroyer. And I have some leftover parts here from stands, like something like this. I'm not thinking of putting it like this because there's no crotch in between this Star Destroyer. But the peg here, this peg, if I can cut this off and put it right under here, like that, that should be strong enough to hold it up. I'm looking at other options here, like this one right here. This one looks a little strong. This one over here looks a little strong as well. Probably a good idea to use this one, I don't know. This one is, I like this one better. The only thing is I'm going to have to cut it from here and then glue it on. Give it a lot of reinforcement. This one's a little too small, good for a high grade kit. And pull this one out for for whatever reason, doesn't think this is going to work. But clearly I have to make a choice between either this one or this one, and then I got to make get the drill bit, begin drilling the dimensions based off this size, and then fit it under here. Don't know if I should do it here or here. I'm inclined to use this one because there's more strength in here, because I don't want this thing to move around, just enough to go in and stay there, then take it out easily. And if I would have known this a little bit further down the road, I would have found one of my old, any of the leftover, what do you call it, polycaps, and then use it as something to give it a good grasp. But I'm not going to pop this open just, for that. So let's wait until it dries, and then I'm going to glue it on, and then let's see how it works.